Ooh, boom! I'm Thundercloud here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame, washing away the garbage, leaving rainbows after rains. Welcome to Chillin Tuesday. Yeah, you know, my mum calls me James. Hey, let's have some fun and linguistic games. Hi, I'm here in the Australian Poetry Library and Archive tonight, and I've decided to do an early days of Henry Lawson reading, and I'm reading out of A Campfire Yarn here. This was published by Lansdowne Press in 1984 as kind of a special of Henry Lawson, 100 years since he started writing. Anyway, I'm going to be focusing on the first few years of his writing life tonight, from 1887 through to around about 1890, 1891. Anyway, he was born in 1867 and he died in 1922. So this really was his early writing from when he was just 20 years old. And there were even articles about Henry Lawson wondering, like when he was 21, has he reached his peak? Will he be a good writer when he's older, etc.? And he did only ever go on to improve, and in fact there are two volumes, equally, one this and another thick one, of all of his collected writings. So he certainly wrote heaps and heaps in his life. Yes. All right, I'm going to have a sip of this and a cough before I get off and read, clear my throat, and open the book. First one I'm going to read to you today was written by Henry Lawson in, if I can get there, 1887. It's the Song of the Republic. And yeah, really, it was published in the Bulletin. Funny thing is, his mum bought a magazine called The Republic back in the similar time. So let's go. Sons of the South, awake, arise, sons of the South, and do banish from under your bonny skies those old world errors and wrongs and lies, making a hell in paradise that belongs to your sons and you. Sons of the South, make choice between, sons of the South, choose true. The land of morn and land of Ian, the old dead tree and young dead tree green, and the land that belongs to the Lord and the Queen, and the land that belongs to you. Sons of the South, your time will come. Sons of the South, 'tis near. The signs of the times in their language dumb foretell it, and ominous whispers hum like sullen sounds in a distant drum in the ominous atmosphere. Sons of the South, aroused at last, sons of the South are few, but your ranks grow longer and deeper fast, and ye shall swell to an army vast, and free from the wrongs of the north and past, the land that belongs to you. Oh, this next one is about a woman of the night. The watch on the curb. Night lights are falling, girl of the street. Go to your calling if you would eat. Lamplight and starlight and moonlight superb. Bright hope is farlight, so watch on the curb. Watch on the curb, watch on the curb. Hope is a farlight, then watch on the curb. Comes a man, call him, gone he's vexed. Curses befall him, wait for the next. Fair world and bright world, life still is sweet. Girl of the night world, watch on the street. Watch on the curb, watch on the curb. Hope is a far light, then watch on the curb. Dreary the watch is, moon sinks from sight. Gas only blotches darkness with light. Never, oh never, let courage go down. Keep from the river, oh girl of the town. That was first published in the Bulletin, The Watch on the Curb by Henry Lawson. Here we go, this one's Beaten Back. It's a story about how difficult it is farming. Beaten back in sad dejection after years of weary toil, on that burning hot selection where drought has gorged his spoil. All in vain 'gainst him the vulture I have battled without rest, in the van of agriculture marching out into the west. Now the eagle hawks are feeding on my perished stock that reek, where the water holes receding long and left the burning creek. I must labour without pity, I pick the spade must wheel. In the streets of the city or upon another's field. Can it be my reasons rocking, for I feel a burning hate for the God who only mocking sent the prayed for rain too late? Pour ye mocking rains and rattle on the bare brown grassless plain, on the shrivelled hides of cattle, that she ne'er want grass again. Rush, ye yellow flood to Murray, over thirsty creek banks foam, and o'er all ye black clouds hurry. Ye can not bring back my home. Well, here we go. Cupid, oh Cupid, Cupid, get your bow. This was published in Town and Country Journal. A riding down the stream, along the sparkling water, and past the pool where lilies gleam, there comes the squatter's daughter. Her eyes are kind, her lips are warm, and like a flower her face is. The habit shows her bonny form, as graceful as a grace's. Oh, I'll be mad of love, I know my head she'll surely addle. Oh, Cupid, Cupid, get your bow, and shoot her from the saddle. For like a bird on breezes waft, she quickly, quickly passes. Oh, Cupid, Cupid, draw your shaft and bring her to the grasses. Oh, she is worthy game for you, and there is none to match her. So, Cupid, send your arrow true, and I'll be there to catch her. Town and Country Journal. This next one, Rain in the Mountains, verses popular and humorous. It was published in Rain in the Mountains. The valley's full of misty cloud, its tinted beauty drowning. The eucalypti roar aloud. The mountain fronts are frowning. The mist is hanging like a pall from many granite ledges, and many a little waterfall starts o'er the valley edges. The sky is of a leaden grey, save where the north is surly. The driven daylight speeds away and night comes over us early. But love, the rain will pass full soon, far sooner than my sorrow. And in a golden afternoon, the sun may set tomorrow. The next one. To Doc Wylie, an eccentric bush doctor. Though doctors may your name discard and say you're physically vilely, I would I were as good a bard as you are, Dr. Wylie. How often when your skill subdued, the fever ranging highly, you won a bushman's gratitude, though little more, Doc Wylie. How oft across the regions wide where scrub for many mile lay, the bushman rode as bushmen ride to seek your aid, Doc Wylie. But now when bushman's wife or child lies ill and suffering direly, he'll need to ride a weary while before he finds Doc Wylie. I hope where they have made your bed and where these verses I lay, they'll raise a board above your head and write your name, Doc Wylie. Two Samaritans and the tramp. The tramp was tramping on the road. The afternoon was warm and muggy, and by he chanced to meet a parson riding in a buggy. Said he, as followers of the Lord, to do good offices we oughter, and from a water bag he poured, and gave the tramp a drink of water. The parson he went rattling home to where his family was thriving. The tramp went on until he met a bullock driving. It's Bill and Ott, the driver said, and soon the dirty tramp drawed nearer, and from the little keg he poured and give the tramp a pint of beer. I ain't again the temperance cause, nor yet to advocate of drinking. I only tells you the yarn because, well, at times it showed, somehow, seemed to kind of set me thinking. The Black Tracker, or Why He Lost the Track. There was a tracker in the force, of wondrous sight the story ran. He never failed to track a horse. He never failed to find his man. They brought him from a distant town, once more to gain reward and praise. He dreamed the man he hunted down had saved him, nor dreamed the man he hunted down had saved his life in bygone days. Away across the farthest run and far across the stony plain, the outlaws' horse tracks, each one, and to the black man's eyes were plain. Those tracks across the ranges wide, right well he knew that he could trace, and oft he turned aside to hide the tears upon his dusky face. Now was his time, for he could claim reward and praise if he prevailed. Now was the time to win him fame, when all the other blacks had failed. He struggled well to play his part, for in the art he took a pride, but there beat a white man's heart beneath his old black wrinkled hide. Against that heart he struggled well, but gratitude was in the black. He failed, and only he could tell the reason why he lost the track. Well done. Oh, this one, The Water Lily. This was written by Henry Lawson after a woman he knew related a dream to him. The Water Lily. A lonely young wife in her dreaming discerns a lily-decked pool with a border of ferns, and a beautiful child with butterfly wings trips down to the edge of the water and sings, "Come, Mama, come, quick, follow me. Step out on the leaves of the water lily." And the lonely young wife, her heart beating wild, cries, "Wait till I come, till I reach my child." But the beautiful child with butterfly wings steps out on the leaves of the lily and sings, "Come, Mama, come quick, follow me, and step out on the leaves of the water lily." And the wife in her dreaming steps out on the stream, but the lily leaves sink as she wakes from a dream. Ah, the waking is sad, for the tears it brings, and she knows 'tis her dead baby's spirit that sings. "Come, Mama, come, quick, follow me, step out of the leaves of the water lily." The Water Lily by Henry Lawson. It was first published in The Dawn in 1890, and then it was published in a book, When I Was King. Well, we're moving into 1891 now. Watching the crows. A bushman got lost in a scrub in the north, and all the long morning the searchers went forth. They swore at the rain that had washed out the tracks and left not a trace for the eyes of the blacks. But trusting the signs that the blackfellow knows, a quiet old darky stood watching the crows. The solemn old blackman stood silently by. He stood like a statue, his face to the sky. Black Billy was out of the bearings, we thought, for he looked above for the bushman we sought. For we rather suspected the spirit would go in, well, quite another direction, you know. Most bushmen on solemn occasions will joke, and unto Black Bill, 'twas the super who spoke. He asked, as he cocked his red nose in the air, "You think at old Harrison sit down up there?" "I'm watching the crows where the white man lies dead. The crows will fly over," the blackfellow said. The blackfellow died, and long years have gone round since the day when old Harrison's body was found. But still do I see in my vision at night a faint figure come like a shadow in sight, and nearer. It comes till it grows like the form of that blackfellow watching the crows. Okay, freedom on the Wallaby. The Wallaby track was like when you were out walking around looking for work, humping your swag, like a swag man. Australia's a big country, and freedom's humping Bluey, and freedom's on the Wallaby. Oh, don't you hear her cooey? She's just beginning to boomerang. She'll knock the tyrant silly. She's going to light another fire and boil another billy. Our fathers toiled for bitter bread, while loafers thrived beside 'em, but food to eat and clothes to wear their native land denied them. And so they left their native land in spite of their devotion. And so they came, or if they stole, were sent across the ocean. Then freedom couldn't stand the glare of royalty's regalia. She left the loafers where they were and came out to Australia. But now across the mighty main, the chains have come to bind her. She little thought to see again the wrong she left behind her. Our parents toiled to make a home, hard grubbin' 'twas a clearin'. They wasn't crowded much with lords when they was pioneerin'. But now that we have made the land a garden full of promise, old greed must crook his dirty hand and come and take it from us. So we must fly a rebel flag, as others did before us, and we must sing a rebel song and join in rebel chorus. We'll make the tyrants feel the sting of those they would throttle. They needn't say the fault is ours, if blood should stain the wattle. That was published in the Brisbane Workup. All right. And the last ones for the evening, Country Crumbs, a selection of kind of prosy, rhymey kind of stuff about towns. And it has a nice introduction as well, lovely introduction. Country Crumbs. The gift of rhyming is a curse, and felt in all lands the same. The poet gives his life to verse, and he is only promised fame. A man has need of clothes and food, and poets cannot live on air and fame. Although it's very good, is nothing we can eat or wear. When bards grow fat, the story goes, but that was in the olden time, and now is day to day a foot of prose pays better than a yard of rhyme. But let us talk a little sense. The verse is easy, prose is hard. And so we'll split the difference between the journalist and the bard. The time is short, and so we'll unfold and read the first exchange that comes, and now for once at least, behold in prosy rhymes the country crumbs. And that's what this group of poetry is called, prosy rhymes. Bar Calden. The champion speaks of a rover astray from the straight and narrow track, and tells how oblivion came over the spirit of Bendigo Jack. The shadows were dark in the trees, the grass in the gully was damp when Jack, with 3 little sheets in the breeze, rolled home to the Union camp. And being top heavy with beer, he fell on his face in the sand, and went surely after from here, let us hope, to a happier land. And they found him next morn where he lay in the glorious dawn of the south, all covered with beer stains and clay, and sand in his nostrils and mouth. Blackall. With the Barco Independent comes a story of the strike, or the shearing war, or lockout, or whichever name you like. Mick, the nigger at the courthouse, was remanded firm and fast, charged with popping at a sentry on the last of April last. And he told the judge a story that we'd almost believe was true if we didn't know the niggers in the region of Barcoo. For according to the nigger, 'twas a shearer said to Mick, If you do not shoot the sentry, I will shoot you pretty quick. And the shearer yabba yabba quoth this, child of dusky hue, say, suppose you miss the sentry, don't suppose that I'll miss you. Cairns. There is war to the knife between Cooktown and Cairns, two small northern towns by the waters, and 'twill never be ended while Cooktown retains the title of naval headquarters. And Cooktown to Townsville remarked the other day as follows, if we may believe her, that naval headquarters at Cairns wouldn't pay, for the climate down that way breeds fever. Charleville. A detective up in Charleville in a public house in town hid his shooter neath the pillow just before he'd laid him down. Rising early in the morning to enjoy the summer air, forth he sailed, quite forgetting he had left his weeping there. Now the chambermaid that morning came to make the bed, found the shooter where the caneless stranger left it at the head. Well, of course it wasn't loaded, so of course it couldn't cock. So she lifted up the hammer and the nasty thing went off. And the ball went through the blankets and the mattress, we declare. And we think 'twas very lucky the detective wasn't there. Now the moral is that pretty girls should always, if they can, shun a firearm and should always, if they can, shun a firearm and a stranger if the stranger is a man. Fair enough. All right, let's go on to Dalby. Now from Dalby in Herald comes the story of Miss Black, who was riding on a race course when she neared the local track. And the scene of past endeavour roused the spirit in the horse, who began to race in earnest like a comet round the course. Round the lonely course he galloped till his works were running down. Then he took his plucky rider out, cantered back to town. And he stopped before the Royal, where he pitched her in the dirt, safe and hearty for a wonder, but he kept the riding skirt. Okay, Rockhampton. Now the people of Rockhampton, while the land is being camped on by the god of revolution and the angel of despair, held a meeting never heeding how the country lay a-bleeding, and they talked about seceding just as if they didn't care. So they rave for federation while they howl for separation. Did you ever see a nation such a state of things? Reveal. And it was distinctly stated when the question was debated that they must be separated ere they join the commonweal. See how free trade and protection, loyalty and insurrection, immigration and restriction raise the devil in the west. And our indignation's fired, for we're getting very tired, and it's nearly time we're thinking that the country had a rest. Well, that is it for me from Chillin Tuesday on this 21st of November 2023. Yes, from the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame and from the Australian Poetry Library and Archive here. And before I finish, I will acknowledge the continuing connection to the land of the elders past and present of the Banbite and Kamilaroi people, and to acknowledge sovereignty has never been ceded. That's it. I'm out of here. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and go subscribe so you get notified when you're getting new videos as they come up. All right, I'm Thunderclap, and I'll see you later. Boom, 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 boom.